Yeah, it's really been that long, huh? I never really thought that I would be doing this for this long. I'd say, like, Jesus Christ, 10 years is just a lot. I apologize if my voice sounds kind of congested right now, because I kind of woke up really early and weird and kind of snicking, getting the sniffles, but I thought I might as well, like, this is gonna be the only opportunity that I really have to do this today, so yeah, here we are. This is how I look like, by the way. Never seen my face. Yeah. I've officially been on YouTube or online for exactly 10 years. Today is November 17th, 2025, and I started my YouTube channel on the same day in 2015, actually. A lot of people, it's funny because a lot of new people that have come around, I've actually had the same thing has been said to me of like, wow, you have so many subscribers on your channel for such a small channel. Like, how did you get so many? Did you like hack into somebody else's account? And I'm like, no, it's actually because I have like years and years of like backlog of videos that I guess a lot of people just don't know about. And that's good, honestly, because they're not good videos. But yeah, I remember I just kind of want this video to be a sort of video diary for me, just kind of logging what's happened in the past 10 years, because if you're not in the know, because let's see, apparently a lot of people aren't, then there's a lot of missing context that you're missing out on. So I kind of want this to be an explanation for those people that ask, like, why do you have so many subscribers? What's the deal with that? You've been on YouTube for 10 years? But yeah, no. I uploaded my first video and I was only like 8 years old, and that's what I mean when I say this means a lot to me, because like I'm only 18. I've been on the internet for most of my life, for 10 years of that 18 years. For literally the majority of my life, I have been on here. And back then I wasn't called BHM. I had a much more longer and more ridiculous name that I don't want to say. And BHM is actually an acronym of that, because I thought, well, I don't know what else I can really call myself when I was rebranding myself. So I thought I might as well just like acronym it and just have it be just those 3 letters. Doesn't really mean much of anything, but it's way better than what it originally was, which was just some dumb thing I came up with when I was a kid. You can still find it, I think, in a few random places, I think. Like, I know my work email is still the original username, which kind of sucks, but yeah. Back then, my style of content was very different. And you can still find these videos all on the channel. They're just all unlisted. Again, don't watch them. But the first ever kind of video I ever did was, back then I had like a phase for Angry Birds of all things, and there was like a genre video back then that was just like people making essentially like fan fiction or like machinimas, like stories basically, with like Angry Birds plush toys, official plush toys. And I started off as that kind of YouTuber. Like, that was genuinely a specific genre of YouTuber back then, where there were so many, I remember so many channels had those kinds of videos. And what I would do is, unknowingly, I basically would do what would end up becoming that, like, reanimated thing that a lot of channels do, where they literally just take pieces of animation and just, like, scene by scene, just recreate them. Because that's what I would do. I took the official Angry Birds animations that the company would do, like Angry Birds Toons, and we would literally just, my dad and I would just reshoot some of those early episodes just with my plush toys in live action. And the thing was, we did, like, I think in total We did like 10 of them originally, and they actually did like really well. And I'm talking like in the tens of millions of views. And if you go back and check, I'm pretty sure they still say that. And that's honestly where a large majority of my subscribers came from, because it was mostly just like kids back then. And it's crazy reflecting on that. But yeah, no. I overall though, I ended up, it's one of those things where like when you're a kid like that, you just kind of end up liking it for the first time that you do it, and then after a while it just fades. But then my dad, being my dad, was, it's probably like the crummiest thing he's ever done, and I don't want to like bash him on it, but he basically just ended up exploiting me for it, because I think he literally, I was so pissed off to learn about this later in my life. Apparently they did so well that like I did not actually make any money off of those. He literally just, as a kid, he literally just took that money and used it to like pay for taxes and stuff, just without telling me. And he basically just ended up using me and using that success to just make more videos and make more money. And we constantly got into arguments back then, just like as a child, about, he basically just tried forcing me to just make more of them against my own will. He even tried doing it like without my involvement, because he was just that committed to it. And like reflecting back on it, it's just one of those things where like your childhood innocence kind of blocks that out, and when you reflect back on it as an adult, it's like, wow, that was really messed up, actually. But yeah, no, needless to say, I think we only did, it was like there was an initial 10, and then after that point there were like a few more that, again, my dad tried to like ride off the success of. But that went on for a few years, and then in 2017 is when actually I started doing my first Let's Play content. And then my first Let's Play ever was of Mario 3D World, and then it was a couple other games after that. It went up to, I believe, like 10, I want to say 10 or 11, actually. I don't know why it's always like around 10, like, because I just realized, yeah, because there were like 10 videos and then 10 Let's Plays. Weird pattern there. But yeah, those Let's Plays are also, they're really, I mean, I do like some parts of them. I guess for what I did, I definitely like did the best that I could back then. But again, I was just still like a little kid and didn't really know what I was doing. So again, they're really old and cringe, and they're really not a good representation of all, like, of what I am nowadays, honestly. But I mean, I guess you can still see some of my interests shining through, but overall, again, don't watch those, please. And then around 2019, like late 2019, I basically just stopped doing everything altogether, and it remained like that for like 3 or 4 years. And I honestly don't really know what it was. Probably either like fatigue or just growing up, or entering, I was entering like high school around that same time. Yeah, I don't really know what it was, especially because that was the pandemic. You'd think that would be a great opportunity to make more stuff, but I was just so disappointed with myself, and I had so many less views compared to the Angry Birds stuff, but I liked doing it a lot more. And I don't know, I just ended up, that was basically just a big hiatus period of just nothing at all for 2020, 2021, 2022. I'm pretty sure 2023 as well had pretty much nothing. And then in 2024, so that was supposed to be last year, around summer of 2024, I opened up a second channel. It was a more personal account, and I started doing, of all things, highlights for the Runaway Guys. And that channel still exists. You can still follow it. It's not, like, if you scroll down on my main YouTube page, it's still there. And actually, my most recent uploads were only like a few months ago. I've made like a lot of videos over there, and I still intend to. And honestly, for as simple as that was, it was just like little edits, but it was honestly a really great dip back into the like video making like scene. Honestly, I actually had a lot of fun with that, and I was really like proud of myself for that. And over the next year, like from like late last year till now, was just one of the most informative and transformative and like growing years of my life. Honestly, it's like one of the worst but also one of the best years of my life, because in around this same time last year is when I realized I was genderqueer, a femboy or trans femme or gender fluid or whatever you want to call it. I'm honestly fine with any of those at this point. And I was just really thinking about that, like, wow, am I? Like, at around this time. And then it wasn't until, I think, like, early of this year when I really solidly, like, figured out, yeah, no, this is who I am. And it definitely took a while, but then towards the end of the school year this year, I, started really becoming more independent and like realizing things about life that, you just kind of go through, honestly. And it was a really eye-opening experience, and, getting to like buy all sorts of new clothes and making all sorts of friends, by the way. Shout outs to Ivy, Kalista, Luna, Edric, Dracus, who else? Sev as well, Krisk, and of course Borkosaurus. They're all really great friends that I met on Borkosaurus's Discord server, and they, along with a few other people, just miscellaneous that I've met throughout this past year, have just really, really meant a lot to me. I honestly cannot thank them enough, because they've honestly been just such good friends, and they're some of the best people I've ever met in my life, honestly. And it was that, along with a few other things, other decisions that really shaped me, that made me want to go back into the swing of things, like not just editing the videos on the other channel, but actually using the BHM name and like making my own original stuff. And so, yeah, that's what I did in August. I started working on a brand for myself, made that PNG Tuber model myself, which I did in Microsoft Paint, but I still think it came out good, and started doing this. And it's been really fun. Honestly, I was in much earlier this year, like not that long ago actually. I was in such a crummy mood, and it was just so depressed and just not enjoying life really. And I think part of that is because of like high school and like how much like the workload that you have to do, as well as like, just personal, just growing pains. But honestly, I think that just having this channel and getting the chance to work on it as often as I do, alongside your guys' support and my friends' support, and also college being like having so little to do in college compared to high school, is just, it makes this all more fun. And that's honestly what I want this to be, more than anything, is just fun. Like, even if I didn't make a single cent from this and there was nobody watching, I would still do it just because it's fun, Like, there's that old saying of, if you like what you do, then you'll never work a single day in your life. And yeah, I think that's just what I want to do. So yeah, that's basically what the past 10 years has been. It's been a very, very strange journey. There's been lots of ups and downs. I've gone through so many different versions of myself in my mind. There's the whole thing about like realizing that I'm autistic, which is a whole other side tangent I didn't even get into. Another way that my parents screwed me over, because they didn't think that I had it, and I feel like they still don't, even though they do. It's weird. Oh my god. But yeah, that's basically, can you hear that? Freaking police cars coming in. But yeah, that's basically what this is all led up to. And I've been streaming now for close to 3 months, and it's just been a really wild ride. And I still want to do more, honestly. Like, I have a like 2D VTuber model coming in the works very, very soon. I just uploaded my first short form content yesterday, actually. I'm assuming those will come out at a pretty like regular basis, I would hope to think. I'm going to commission someone to make some emotes so that people who subscribe have you know, something to like physically have other than just like not having ads. And I hope to do more like content apart from streaming itself on top of that, like actual like Let's Plays, because there are so many, like, because I genuinely did like Let's Playing back when I did it and being informative and like teaching. Like, I think going through games blind isn't one experience that's really cool, but I think being very like informative and teaching people about games that I really enjoy is also just as fun, and I want to get back into that. But you know, my procrastinating ass and like having to do this in combination with school and personal life and stuff, it can make things difficult, and it can make things feel like, you know, like I'm wasting my time, or I'm working too much, or you know. But yeah, this is where we're at now, honestly. If you ever want to catch into what I'm doing, you can always check out this here YouTube channel or Twitch on Mondays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Sundays at 11 p.m. PST. I don't think that's going to change, really. And of course, you can always check out the Discord for updates about that. And I also have a Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok pages. And yeah, I honestly am very excited for what's to come in the near future. And it definitely took a while for us to get where we are, but I think this is where things are going to stay for a while now. I'm really comfortable with this. And I guess maybe things wouldn't have been like this if I didn't have all those blunders along the way. If I didn't have 10 years of experience behind me, maybe I wouldn't be so confident in myself. So, yeah. Also, why not? Yes, I look fucking ugly. Just, I know I would kill myself if I didn't at least have this. This is a memento, just to see what I looked like back then. And yeah, I'm also wearing a skirt, by the way. And my thigh highs, look at my thighs. I have very squishy thighs. Screw this, I'm putting this back up. You can't tell me what to do. But yeah. Also, by the way, I was kind of subtle about this, but this is what I see behind me. If you can see, these are what I see when I'm making videos for you guys or doing streams. I have my controllers and consoles and stuff set up there. And I don't really want to get too detached from what we're doing here and actually like give you a tour. Maybe some other video, but yeah. That's about it. Thank you all so much for watching, for everything. I know there are actually some people that have stuck around, like, since back during the Let's Plays, or even back during the videos before that. And for you, and for the new people that show up every so often, I just want to say thank you. Just, even if you've only watched a little bit or a lot of this channel, supported it in any way you can, just thank you. Thank you so much. Hugs and kisses to you all. And I'll see you around. The same day that this video comes up, which this video is being recorded on the day that it comes up, actually. This same day, I will also be having a live stream at 11 p.m. Pacific. And it'll be, like, going through and sampling some games that mean a lot to me and have historic value, and it'll be basically just revisiting a lot of, like, cursed and sometimes actually good, like, childhood memories, I guess. Should be fun. But yeah. I don't know how to end this. Thank you all so much, and here's to another 10 years, alright? Bye-bye.